Alrighty, May 1st, 2025. Zul'Gurub is on its way. This is a 20-man raid that is considered essentially catch-up gear. Now, you do want to come here regardless, even if you are fully geared, because you want to build the reputation to give you a bunch of different things. Let's dive into some of the best catch-up gear that you can get out of here, and a little bit about the enchants and everything else. So, to start off, that each class does have a set bonus that you can get. So you can build the different sets. Some of them are decent. Like the 2-3 sets are, they're not bad. Like Priest, you're able to get the 2 sets for the extra 22 healing. So some of them are okay. A lot of them you might only do the 2 or 3 set max overall, where most of the times the 5 set is not worth it. But there's some nice catch-up sets that give you some great raw stats overall. So don't skip on this if you are looking to get some extra gear. Also, let's not forget about the class trinkets that you're going to get from here. So the different quests that you can pick up the class trinkets, the one I'm most excited about is the rogue one. So instantly increase my energy by 60. This is huge. This is not as good as a Thistle Tea, but this is very nice. You could do some really good, cool combos even in PvP by getting that extra energy, maybe an extra, backstab or something. But most classes, their trinket is pretty decent. So unless you have the best in slot trinkets already from BWL, you might be able to use one of these for a while. Not a bad option. The big reason everybody's coming for ZG, of course, to be able to get the 2 mounts, the Raptor, the Tiger. They are only 1% drop chance, so low drop chance overall, and a lot of different pugs and things will hard reserve these, especially in the beginning when everybody's already trying to go. As the phases go on, phase 5, phase 6, people will still be coming to this just to go for these mounts themselves. The mages will get where they can polymorph and turn someone into a turtle, which is cute. And there's an 18 slot bag. So a lot of cool little items that you're going to get out of here. Like I mentioned, you're going to come here for the reputation, because you're going to need to get up to exalted and revered to be able to utilize stuff like this. Look at the great enchants that you're going to get just for the shoulders alone. And then if you look at the head and leg enchants, so these ones are more class specific, but they do cost a little bit to actually make them, but these are huge. These are going to replace most of the current enchants we have for the leg, head, and the shoulders. So don't skip out. Make sure you get here and grind the rep. Now, some of the DPS weapons that I'm speaking about, look at these swords. They're not, the best swords ever, because they're both 1.7. And like, say for a rogue, I want my main hand to be a little bit slower. But if I didn't have any of the good items out of BWL, these wouldn't be bad. To get the +6 to swords is amazing. It's going to help with your overall hit. And then you look at like the mace, the fist weapon, the fang. Like, there's lots of great different items. This fang of the faceless would be amazing for a rogue like that does daggers. Some of the other melee DPS items I wanted to highlight. You have a chest, that 1% crit, 58 attack power, some nice intellect. This one's pretty nice overall. You have the new head, the eye patch, 2% crit, 44 attack power. And then you have some blues. So don't be fooled by just the blues. You have some nice gear out of here. So like, look at this, a back piece that gives you a 1% hit. That's huge. This is a nice back piece that I probably will plan on using until I get the Fire Maul back piece. Then your rings. If you didn't get some of the other rings out of Dire Maul North, these are not bad at all. It does give you the 1% hit, the extra agility, and then the combo gives you more attack power. So that's not bad at all. The other version for the back, if you wanted to go more damage compared to the hit, you can go with the Might of the Tribe. Looking at the caster DPS, look how many great items there are. Some big ones to mention: Bag of Whammies, 1% hit on an offhand and other great stats, that's huge. So a lot of casters are going to want that. Same with the Cloak of Consumption. This is like almost best in slot for a lot of classes. The 1% hit. So if you don't know, like mages struggle with hit. So to be able to get 1% hit here, 1% hit here. Oh, a neck piece, 1% hit here. Like they have a bunch of great epics that you can get out of here. You have some healing daggers, 24 damage or healing. The 6 mana per 5 is huge. And then you look at the different, they have the same deal as the melee did, but a caster version where you can get rings that actually give you increased hit. So every caster for the most part is going to want both of these rings. That's an extra 2% hit if you combine them together. Mana per 5 seconds, great intellect, and then you look at the 2 set, another 1% hit. So these rings are going to give you 3% hit out of here. You get boots that are giving you 30 damage. You can get the broken reel. This one's not bad. This reel, it gives you a 10% buff on your hit for 15 seconds. So essentially you could pop it right before the fight. And then in the beginning of the fight, you're getting that extra hit damage and then swapping to something else. Damage wise for wand, look at the Touch of Chaos. 18 damage on a wand with the 82 damage per second. This is a huge wand. So the casters are getting a ton of different items. Now looking at the tanks, they don't get as much out of here, but there's some notable items, like the ring that gives you the +7 to defense. You have a sword that gives you +5 to defense and adds a little extra damage to your attacks. You get an epic shield. That is not too bad. That +7 to defense, some chance to block, and increasing the block value overall. Not a terrible shield if you didn't get the one out of MC or BWL. They have another sword, a unique one, in the main hand that's +4 to defense, more damage. So this one's going to be a little bit more damage, and you get the health out of it plus the armor, which is a little bit better. Then you also have the 10 defense on the plate. So there are some decent tank items. They're nothing, world ending, but they're not bad at all. Let's look at some of the healing. Some of the healing ones, there's some great ones for the healing. 6 different ones at bare minimum that I found. So if you look at the epic ones up here, the hands, this is mainly for obviously holy paladins, but 59 healing, 4 mana per 5 seconds. You have a staff that gives you a ton of raw stats, 35 spirit and 46 healing. You get a necklace that's 44 to healing. That is huge. Another main hand that's giving you 51 plus a 1% crit. Like there's a lot of great items. You then also, just like the damage ones for melee and casters, you have a ring set that gives you 29 healing. If you think, I believe out of MC, everybody's gunning for the one ring that gives you 33 damage, essentially damage/healing. This one's only a little bit behind, and then when you get the set, it would actually be better than even the MC when put together. So as you can see, there's lots of great items coming in ZG for everything, whether you're a healer, DPS, caster, and melee, and tanks, along with all of the great enchants and chances to get some cool mounts. But hopefully this guide was helpful. Love to hear your feedback below. What did I maybe forget, or what are you most excited to get out of ZG? Are you just starting in raiding and you're going to use this as a catch-up raid? Or are you a veteran playing this all the time and you're hunting a certain item in here? Love to hear it, and until next time, game on.